tens of thousands of YouTubers are not happy with Google's plan to require age verification on the popular video platform, the platform that I am currently on. Now, some of the responses there criticize not only the fact that they're doing age verification in the first place, but how they're doing it using AI to attempt to detect underage users in the United States. As of Wednesday morning, there was a petition that hit over 70,000 signatures, about 20,000 over its original goal of 50,000 signatures, so it's a lot. There's also another similar petition that hit about 23,000 signatures as of this morning. So what are people mad about? So let's get into the details about this, right? Well, for one, using AI to analyze your entire watch history and online behavior. It will then the AI uses those metrics to try to guesstimate your age. And look, we've all heard of AI hallucination before. This will only add to it, hallucinating that, 30-year-olds are actually 12. Oh, yeah. So now, look, when you're on YouTube in your own profile, you can set your own age. Google apparently set this AI up this way because there are people out there that lie about their age. Yes, we know that does happen. Okay. It's a tale as old as time. Okay. Not a surprise. But what sucks about this system is that it will override the age that you put on your own account if it believes that you are underage, that you were lying. Say you watch something that might be for considered to be for kids, and then suddenly, it thinks that you're 6 years old. Okay, weird, right? Now, what happens if that happens? Well, you get locked out. Okay, you get locked out of content that is flagged for not for kids, there's a lot of content that is not for kids, and how can you fix that? Well, you can by uploading a picture of your government-issued ID. Which, of course, puts your private personal information at risk with no actual tangible benefit to doing so. Look, age verification is one of those ideas that sounds okay in theory and is a noble goal. I want to protect the kids, got to protect the children from the bad stuff online. But of course, it often does not work as advertised. Okay, and it gives these giant corporations your personal data, which they can then sell to third parties if they want to, and make a lot of money. So that's a problem. Privacy experts previously told Ars Technica that YouTube's age checks are concerning, but they went forward with it anyway. Now, a YouTube spokesperson told Ars that the company, quote, does not retain data from a user's ID or payment card for the purposes of advertising. Oh, I don't believe them. I don't trust them at all. Yes, I know. Look, again, I don't trust them, and nobody does either. Okay, look, one expert had told Ars before, YouTube does not specifically or does not specify how any of the data received from users incorrectly labeled as teens will be used or how long it will be stored. It would be nice to have a little bit of transparency, especially since we are the ones that are required to be transparent and to give up our literal ID. I mean, seriously. Again, they're a giant corporation. There is no way that they will not actually use this information to sell it to advertisers. They all already do it. They all already do it. Okay, Facebook, yes, Meta takes our personal information, sells it to advertisers. Google, how do you think they get those personalized ads? Okay, but again, there's other concerns, right? The other concern comes from people who are obviously adults, but might watch, for example, online cartoons, okay? Gaming channels, okay? Content that might be considered to be immature. Because, let's be honest, I'm a millennial, right? We have a lot of comfort shows, okay? Because, our lives are filled with existential dread. We grew up, recessions and wars and stuff. And you know what? Some of us like to go back to the comfort of our own childhoods for a little bit, little while to get away from the garbage that is our current reality. So yes, if you're a 30-year-old, you're 40-year-old, and you want to watch some freaking SpongeBob, you should be able to do that without having to, then later on prove that you're an adult to an AI because you decided to have a little bit of comfort for once. That sucks, okay? Again, the result of this is watching those shows and doing those things is going to get you flagged, and then, oh, look, you got to hand over your personal private data that could be leaked or breached just to be able to unlock your account to watch adult stuff. It's ridiculous. Look, and on another note, by the way, I've been a YouTube partner for about 10 years now. Every time they roll out these changes, it's a mess. It's a complete disaster. Their engineering team, okay? Look, their engineering team tries all sorts of new things, but because this is an old platform, it's been around for quite some time, a lot of these changes can break a lot of other things. This, I believe, will be no different, okay? Especially now with the use of AI, which is not accurate. Experts noted that even the best age estimation software usually misses it by about 2 years, okay? A 2-year window on each side, okay? YouTubers between 16 and 20 may accidentally be susceptible to incorrect age estimations by this AI. So now that we know some of the problems here, I want to share some of the response to this. Starting with the person who created this petition that has gotten over, again, 70,000 signatures. Now, it comes from an anonymous user called Leftist Gaming, okay? And now his channel looks into video game lore, which consequently is right up my alley. Let me tell you what, I am a nerd. I love video games. I love video game lore. I am super into Fallout, for example, right? The Fallout universe. And so I'm looking up lore on my spare time. Yes, that's what I do with my time. Judge me if you want. I don't give a shit. Okay? Anyway, he told ours that YouTube's appeal process, quote, raises major privacy concerns. Yes. Where is that sensitive data stored? How secure is it? If YouTube suffers a breach, people's names, IDs, and faces could end up in the wrong hands. And of course, that would create an issue of people stealing each other's identities. Big problem. Big problem. Leftist also takes issue with the AI system itself, which runs in the background, constantly scanning every user's viewing habits. Which, yeah, that sounds a lot like Big Brother, okay? Because look, all these platforms are known to have shared information with the government, specifically with law enforcement. I remember when Facebook got in trouble for sharing data about people talking about having abortions and sharing that with law enforcement in states that have banned abortion. So, yes, privacy concerns are a real problem. And several commenters on the petition also noted that the age checks seem to be created mainly as a way to appease lazy parents, lazy conservative parents. Let's be very clear. One of the ones who are not willing to take the time out to police their own kids' viewing habits, but are worried. We're so worried that they're going to run into pro-LGBTQ content, right? YouTube's transgender kids. You got to know that that's what it's about. Okay, so like, okay, we'll just put in some verification stuff so that your kid doesn't accidentally run into a pro LGBTQ plus video or something. That's really what it's about. Okay, look, one person asked though, hey, isn't this why they made YouTube Kids? Yeah. Even without requesting ID, why is an AI combing through every single video I watch? Said Griffiths. As an adult, I should be able to watch what I want within the law. And if the viewer is a child, that responsibility belongs to their parents, not a corporation. Bingo. Boom. Mic drop. It's over. That's a great reason, okay? That is a great reason. I couldn't agree more. Now, he also says, to a lot of people, this feels like mass surveillance and censorship under the banner of protecting kids. Where have we seen that one before? Where have we seen that one before? Oh, yeah, pretty much every terrible law that takes away people's rights and freedoms is always presented through the veneer of, well, we got to do this to protect the kids. Protect the children. Except when it comes to, mass shootings, guns in schools, etc. Then we're not so much protect the children. Oh, don't even get me started on, trans children, right? Because they certainly, the right wing does not want to protect them at all. They want them to be dead. That's the reality here, okay? Now, Griffiths then told ours, people want a free, open internet without having their activities constantly tracked or filtered. Yes. Now, here's the thing, right? So, there are places that have already passed age verification laws. What does the research say about that? They don't work. Period. Researchers led by David Lang of Stanford University's Polarization and Social Change Lab looked at Google Trends data from the states that had passed these laws and found that, for one, users would actually go out of their way to avoid sites that complied with those age verification laws. Oh, you would think, well, isn't that a good thing? Isn't that the whole point? No, because it turns out they instead would go to, well, websites that didn't comply. Okay. So they would seek out sites that do not comply with those age verification laws, which, again, could lead to some issues, okay? Not only that, but researchers also found that age verification laws linked to an increase in searches for VPNs to kind of get around that whole thing. Yeah. Zev Sanderson, executive director of New York University Center for Social Media and Politics, and one of the paper's researchers, wrote, while age verification laws may successfully reduce traffic to regulated platforms, they also appear to drive users toward potentially less regulated and more dangerous alternatives. Whoops! Which would appear to completely undercut the stated goal of these laws, which is supposedly to protect young people from dangerous online content. Instead, you are not only steering them towards more dangerous online content, but steering everyone to that dangerous online content, the unregulated stuff. Congratulations. You done played yourself. Good job. Look, here's the thing. Nothing can replace a parent that monitors their kids' online activities. Okay? Now, I understand that in this world, not everyone is able to do that. I empathize with that. But that does not mean that these big corporations and AI should be forced to take over that responsibility, especially when you have all of these privacy concerns that go along with this stuff. I think that what we should do is keep the system the way it is, because if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? And stop trying to, and this was what frustrates me the most, stop trying to shoehorn AI into everything. Especially one that is sucking up all the water and electricity, making our electricity bills go higher, all in order to, demand that you show it a government ID, because if you happen to be a 30-year-old who decides to watch some SpongeBob to blow off some steam, now YouTube thinks you're 12. F off. This is not the technology that we need or want. Okay, the future, once again, and I've said this before, the future has gotten just stupid. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe with the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.